they put him in there, so they might as well, like, if they're gonna go that far, like, they
might as well.
might
You think
as well.
you hear that, guys? Kai thinks they might as well have set fire to the small
As in,
man.
like,
hello and welcome to the 3rd episode of Press Paws.
woo!
You wanna?
Oh, no, I fuck it up every
Okay,
time.
fine. Okay, we're GRZLY. I'm Ted,
I'm Kai.
and we're gonna be talking about today Project X. Oh, we harmonised there. I fucked with that.
Do you know what I realised? We never say, like, when the movies came out.
Oh, this movie came out in 2012.
Every
Maybe
time!
we should introduce the movies a bit more than we do.
We should do a little introduction. I
Okay,
think
yeah.
start from this
This is
one.
the movie Project X. We're professionals, guys.
We know what we're doing.
This is the movie Project X. It came out in
2012?
2012. Correct me if I'm wrong.
No, you're right.
It's directed by... Look on the thingy, my bob.
I will look.
This is why we have to prepare if we're going to start
Okay.
introducing
Yeah, that's
the
true. We
movie.
should write a little thingy.
A little summary to
Yeah.
talk about.
Completely off note, but once I got home yesterday, I watched Santa Claus with Seth and
I
Molly.
saw your review, yeah.
Oh,
I
it was fun,
watched
actually.
War Dogs, and guess who it had in it?
It had
Mars Teller.
Mars Teller. That's the one.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be way better than it was, to be honest. And then I looked on the reviews and it turned out everyone agreed with me. Okay, so Project X came out in 2012 and it was directed by Nima. I hope that's how you pronounce it. I said I hope that's how you pronounce it and then read the surname. Nerizide.
Don't.
Yeah. Starring a lot of people that no one's like huge in it, to be honest. I mean, they're all
I wouldn't be able to tell anyway.
they all have the same surnames as the first names, and I'd say the most famous person in it is Mars Teller, who plays himself, and
Yeah,
everyone
I'd
else
say
is
so.
kind of
Well, they all have their first names, but not all of them, but like a lot of them do. But no one else has that second name too. Also, he's like in the film. They like go, oh, it's Mars Teller. So I feel like
yeah. Well, obviously he plays himself. Yeah.
yeah. I
But-
was doing a bit of googling after we were talking about whether he was like, if he had any controversies.
Oh,
or
he's a
not.
dick. Did you find out he's a dick?
He apparently, people thought he was an anti-vaxxer.
But he wasn't. Or
He
was.
declined it, but like he was on a movie set apparently. This is all according to whatever website I was reading, by the way.
Okay.
He was on a movie set apparently and refused to get a vaccine and he refused to get tested
Oh.
and he didn't tell anyone and he had COVID.
Oh, okay. Well, what I googled was, is Mars Teller a bad guy? And I found out that he just apparently is like kind of an asshole. As far as I can tell, he hasn't, like murdered anyone or anything along those lines.
Yeah.
But from what I can tell, he had a bunch of movies in the 2010s because he was good and was a dick on every single set. And now he's not getting much
Yeah.
work,
So
as far as I can tell. Which is a shame because I think when I see someone play an arsehole, and Mars Teller does play an arsehole version of himself in this movie, you assume them as themselves isn't a bad person, because why would you play an arsehole if you're a bad person? You know, we watched that movie where loads of actors play themselves?
oh yeah.
Yeah. And like Michael Cera plays himself as an absolute asshole. And you're like, there's no way Michael Cera's like that.
What's it called? Oh, what's it
I can't remember End of the World.
Maybe.
This is something like that.
I was not paying attention.
I rewatched it with my mom.
Did you? Was it good?
It was good.
I'll watch it.
Do you want to talk about characters?
Yeah.
Let's do some talking about characters. I have only a small bit of writing about each character.
My analysis of characters is just saying their names in all caps, meaning I like that character.
Oh, so mine is then each of their names and then a small bit about them.
Okay, well, why don't you start, and then I can go,
okay.
and I can go,
I
I like
wrote-
that character or not.
Costa, arsewipe.
Yes, true. I said, actually, in one point, why is Thomas friends with such a dick?
Thomas was perfectly nice, in my opinion.
He was nice until, like,
There were things he did that were bad.
bad, but he was,
But he was clearly supposed to be a perfectly fine,
Yeah.
sound guy. He was
And why
fine.
is he friends with an actual arsehole that is...
But JB's okay. He's fine.
Yeah, JB's fine.
But Costa,
he's a dick to both of them.
oh my god.
All three of them.
Because, like, the three main characters in this movie, I don't think you paid attention when we watched Superbad. In which case, we need to do an episode on Superbad. But,
Okay.
well, the three main characters are very similar. Sorry.
Ow!
Sorry.
You just poked me with your nails!
Sorry. The 3 main characters in this movie have really similar energy to the 3 main characters of Superbad.
Okay.
And like in Superbad, Michael Cera, who would be Thomas in this case, is like normal dude.
Yeah.
Friends with utter arsehole who completely sexualizes women all the time, is like homophobic, just generally an awful person.
Yeah.
And Michael Cera's just like, oh, well. And they're literally like, it's the same character. Costa is Jonah Hill in Superbad. I mean, I guess it's just like, oh, we've been friends forever. But he never gets mad. In Superbad, like, they almost fall out over it.
Yeah.
Whereas he doesn't get that mad. Like, there's a few times in the movie where he's like, where Thomas is saying, oh, we shouldn't do this. Everything's going wrong. And Costa's like, I'll fix it. And he's like, okay.
I trust you fully that this mess is going to be sorted out.
That car in the bottom of the pool, you can get it up and running again.
Yeah.
I believe in you. You're a mechanic if you say you're a mechanic.
Not only, like, sunk at the bottom of the pool, but smashed into the wall of the pool as well. It's, like, pushed against it. I think the front of it is, like...
Also, you can't drive a car that's been completely submerged in water ever again.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Wishful thinking.
Also, none of them are strong enough to get a car out of the pool. You know, none of them are old enough to, like, rent out something to get it out of the pool. Or hire someone to get out of the pool.
Yeah.
We're getting ahead of ourselves. We're talking about characters here, and we're
we do this every time.
Spoiling moments from the movie. Okay.
He was a dick. He was pissing me off. He said some funny things, but he was annoying.
Yeah. Do you have a character?
Well, Thomas. We kind of really talked about Thomas, so Dax.
Yeah, my note about Thomas that she says normal person. That's all I wrote about Thomas. He's a normal person.
He's a normal person.
In this situation.
Yeah.
Not at all moments. Some moments he gets a bit like, I wouldn't do that in that situation. But on the whole, but then I'm not a normal person, you know?
Yeah.
On the
Everyone's individual.
He's a normal person. He's quite a plain Jane. You know? And that's okay.
He's a plain Jane. Oh. But yeah, no, Dax, though. Our cameraman.
Oh my god, I love him. Dax, what did they even do? Like, Dax had so much potential.
Literally, because when we were like, I was checking out if his name was Dax or like I heard it wrong because I wasn't sure.
Yeah.
And then I was searching it up, and he was like the first person on Google with all the list of characters. He was the first person. I was like, oh, they're gonna have a switcheroo. They're gonna do like a.
I thought he was gonna
come
be
in and he's gonna be the main character.
Super bad reference that you wouldn't understand, but I thought it was going to be a Fogel moment and Dax would have a turnaround because everyone was calling him like weird. And I was like, why is everyone creeped out by Dax? He doesn't give creepy energy to me.
No.
He just asks questions. He just films.
He just has a camera.
He almost drowned in the pool trying to get butt shots for them, or possibly for himself, but like either way, he almost drowned.
I mean, with the logistics of it, is a camera that, you know, he can move. He probably was stood up, right, and then had the camera underneath. But yeah, he almost drowned.
No, he was in the water. He was submerged. He was swimming. He was froggy leg breaststroking his way around the pool. Completely submerged.
There was a lot of breast. I don't think he was stroking any of them, though.
You don't think he was stroking any of them? Is
No,
that what you just said to me? Joke. I know, I understood the joke. I just was baffled by it. It's not a very you thing to say.
But he wasn't.
Stroking
the breasts.
Oh. What? I thought you meant dicks. I'm going to be perfectly honest. Anyway.
You said breaststroking.
Yeah, I know. I understand now. I was being stupid. But, like, you hear stroking. Right. And what do you think of? You don't think of boobs, do you?
No, but you...
Because I know he said breast... Okay, whatever. Anyway. Dax had potential, and I feel like they didn't live up to potential. And then, I worry about him, my true love.
And then at the end...
Oh, yeah, they make him a murderer.
They're like, oh, he under investigation about the disappearance of his parents.
No
way. He lives alone.
No way along the movie did I get the vibe that he was a murderer.
No, neither.
I feel like maybe they were supposed to be hinting at that, but they could have hinted stronger at that.
How? Literally, what moments from that film were they
until
hinting
he said, I live alone, and they were like, you seriously creep me out.
Right at the end, but like, yeah.
But he could just live alone.
He only creeps them out because he's a bit different from everyone else, and they don't really let him talk.
No.
They talk, and he's like meant to be just like the guy who's filming.
He's a fly on the wall, you know, but like...
He is a fly on the wall.
Hello? My bad. Anyway, I wrote Miles Teller hilarious, but again, it's less hilarious now that I know he is an arsehole.
If we think in the terms of him in Whiplash,
then it's hilarious.
Him in this movie
it's hilarious.
really
That's
funny.
If you've only watched Whiplash with him in, but then I've watched movies where he plays an arsehole.
I've seen this and Whiplash, and that might be it.
He's in Divergent, but Miles Teller.
That's right, Miller.
No! What kind of first name?
That's why I was confused. Like, that's not right.
He's Miller Tiles. Okay, anyway, that wasn't that funny.
Oh, he was in Top Gun Maverick. I've seen that as well. Ah, look at him!
Let me see.
In the chair.
He always looks exactly like that, doesn't he?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Not in this movie, because in this movie he was like a silly guy.
Yeah.
But in everything else, he always looks like he's like gonna like tell me how to do my taxes.
True.
And I'm gonna be like,
True.
I'm literally 17. I don't need to do taxes.
I'm good.
But thank you so much for your financial advice. You know?
Anyway.
Okay, my bad. I don't really have much to say about JB. He was okay. He was fine.
Okay. He was like.
He was again just like a normal person, really.
Yeah.
You know, they made out that he wasn't, but he was. Kirby again, just a normal
Felt
person.
bad for him in that scene where he Costa makes him go up to talk to like one of the neighbours, and it's like this tall guy who looks really intimidating,
and
he's
JB's like,
hi, we got a party, and we just like, you know, if you want to like message me or like call me or whatever, you can hit my number, and then, you know, you can like say if there's any issues.
It's like, why couldn't Costa have
I
done
know.
that? Kirby also just a normal person.
Yeah.
She doesn't have much of a personality. They didn't give her one. Like, she didn't need one.
Other than like our main four, and then you've got Kirby, you've got Miles Teller, and then
You got the hot chick.
yeah, everyone else.
They're irrelevant characters.
Oh no, wait.
Oh, and
Oh
the
my
kid
God,
security
Rick!
guard. Rick.
The security kids.
Who's Rick?
Rick is the guy who set fire to everyone.
Okay, no,
There's a letter before Rick, but I can't remember what it is.
Also, the neighbour that...
Oh yeah, with the kid who's like...
The
he's
neighbour
like,
that
please.
Costa beefs with very intensely. I love that he
Sorry
beefs
guys,
with
we watched this yesterday and I didn't have forgotten everything until like I'm reminded of it.
Literally, yeah, now all of a sudden I'm like, well, I forgot about Rick and the setting fire of everything. I feel like we're much louder this time, you know?
No, we're not. We're just like, we're yelling a lot through that. They always look like that when we
That's
yell.
what I mean. I mean, we're louder, not the microphone.
Passionate!
We liked this movie. Okay, I would say...
Okay, so no, we need a moment. We need a moment for the security kids. That's so funny.
Oh,
I actually love them.
the security kids.
That's
I love,
so funny.
like, you meet these security kids and you assume, like, they just want to, like, get into a cool older kids party.
Do you know why?
They wanna,
It's because they have the two kids that are like, what, year 10? What they call it?
Freshmen.
Freshmen. They have the two freshmen that Costa's like, you're not coming to this fucking party. And then
Yeah, and they're like, oh.
please.
So you assume the kids are like,
We're gonna be
oh,
the same.
score, like, we got into this party with these older people and
Yeah.
we're going to get to see tits and stuff.
Yeah.
Those kids, all those kids want to do is keep that party safe. They are so passionate about security.
Their job, that is their main goal. I'm also...
Because he keeps being like, things have gotten out of control and I'm afraid and I want to go home.
Yeah,
and it's
yeah,
like, they literally do not care about the party.
They remind me of... I don't know if you watched The Lost Boys.
No.
Okay, there's two kids in The Lost Boys that they're like trying to catch the vampires, and then they remind me of the two security kids remind me of the two kids in The Lost Boys, so they're so funny.
And then obviously, yeah, Rick. I feel like we can't talk about Rick without talking about something
Everything
that we
else,
need to
so,
talk
yeah.
about in scenes, or at least something different. So I think
Rick as a character meaningless, but him as everything else, yeah.
normally I'd say we should do this last, but can we do a quick talk about like soundtrack and filming and stuff? Because I personally think this movie had a really good soundtrack.
From the songs I knew, yeah, I totally agree.
I think
even the vibe of everything I didn't know
Yeah.
as well, it was just like, yeah, it worked.
Usually if a movie has like a significant soundtrack or like at least a noticeable soundtrack, it's old music.
Yeah.
But this was mostly music of the time.
Yeah.
And it worked so well. I feel like that would work now.
I think.
What?
This is what they learn in film studies called zeitgeist, so it means have the like vibe of the time, basically.
Yeah, like in Dazed and Confused, except
Yeah.
in this movie it's a different vibe.
Yeah.
They've moved on from weed to ecstasy,
Yeah.
you know? And from small fights to giant fires that take over a whole street.
And riots. Actually, to do with music, my first quote is when at the beginning they go, hey, we want some pussy.
I forgot about that.
It was amazing.
I wrote Trouble on My Mind was in a scene. It wasn't in the party, but I think it worked better in the scene they put it in. It's just them like walking to the store with like attitude. At the party, there's some really good songs. I mean, it plays Heads Will Roll. That was probably the most significant scene. Heads Will Roll started playing, and I knew what the scene was going to look like. I knew it was going to be a montage of like the party, and I knew there was going to be like chaos, and there was going to be girls dancing, and there was going to be boobs and all that.
Yeah.
Like, I know that has been in the whole thing, but I in my mind could picture how they were going to time it up with the song and everything, and it was the exact same.
Yeah,
you know? It's so predictable, but it works so well. It plays really and you're like, this is about to be the best scene of the movie right now.
Yeah,
because this song is playing,
and it is. It's like the most, other than the ending, it is like the most like memorable in a way. You know, just because like all of the chaos.
Yeah,
and the song it just really sticks.
It captures it the most.
It does.
And then all of the, I mean, like all the Eminem tracks and all the background music. I do think they could have picked a better Eminem song. Personally, I just don't think it was. It was one that wasn't the best, but it was still like it fit the vibe.
Yeah,
you know, it's supposed to be what they're playing at the party. It doesn't need to be like incredible.
Yeah.
So.
I was gonna say a line, but it's a line more than a song, so I'll leave it for lines.
Oh, okay. It's not soundtrack, but I understand why they did it, because certain scenes wouldn't work very well. But I think this movie would have been slightly better if genuinely the entire thing was filmed by Dax. Because some parts aren't. And it's not just from my love from Dax.
No, I was so confused every time they switched it. I was like, it's Dax, and then it's like, oh, but Dax won't do that, and that doesn't sound like Dax, and
and then look, like, it's not, it's Thomas holding the camera, and it's like, why?
It's just confusing.
I just think if it was Dax the whole time, they could have, maybe it was on purpose, but like if Dax was filming the scene of Thomas and Kirby in the pool, they could have made something of being like, what are you doing, Thomas? Like, get out of the way, we're like doing stuff.
Yeah.
You know, I understand like when the security kids are talking to the cameras.
I like that bit, but again, I would happily sacrifice that bit for just having Dax film the whole thing.
It would have made more sense. It would have come together better as like a fake, like a mockumentary high school video.
Yeah.
If it was genuinely entirely filmed by Dax.
Yeah.
Obviously, the bit where he jumps off, that's fine because he gives him the camera.
Yeah, but we see that.
But we see him give him the camera, so there's no confusion.
Yeah.
But in all the other parts where they swap the camera, you're like,
you don't know.
Yeah. And then at the end, it goes back to Dax holding the camera, and even though the scene with him and his dad, Thomas and his dad, Dax isn't there, and I would sacrifice that scene and not find out what happens until it says at the end.
Yeah.
For true. Dax, or just have Dax be there, I guess, and somehow, and like the dad be like,
everyone be there, or something like that. Yeah.
Or something. I do think that, considering the premise of the movie is that it's like a fake, it's like a video that they're filming at school.
Yeah. And
it's all supposed to be filmed by one guy.
Yeah, no,
so definitely. I do think it would benefit from all being filmed by the one guy, because also at least in the other bits, you can figure out who is filming, that there's someone else filming.
Yeah.
But in the bit where he's talking to his dad, no one's supposed to be filming it. Yeah. So that bit just doesn't feel like it fits in with the movie. You know? I don't know. That's just
I know. I agree. It's too like confusing for one, and most of the scenes that are like that are quite like are unnecessary. For the most part, like they add something, but like they could be sacrificed.
I agree.
So it's kind of like, it was just like, I was confused because it tells you that they're swapping camera or whatever. They just like do, and then you find out and you're like, oh, yeah, okay, and then you have to look at the scene that it just shot all over again in a different light.
Yeah, because it's like, oh, why is no one questioning the fact that Dax is right here, you know? And then he's not.
Because I thought it was Dax when it was Thomas on the camera going up to Kirby, and I was like, why is he like that close and like they're flirting when it's Thomas's like girl.
Oh yeah, because you thought Dax was the one in the pool, and I was like, oh, maybe it's not Kirby.
Maybe yeah,
but then it was. So I was really confused.
Also Thomas. So it was like
if they were gonna have it like, if the vibe was supposed to be like, oh look, everybody's getting videos on their phones and stuff, they could have leaned into that and had like random people's in the crowds footage and stuff like that.
It should have been like selfie video type shit.
Exactly.
If they're gonna cut in things,
then it has to be clear that it's different.
Because they could have done like the Thomason thing, Thomas going like holding up the selfie and holding both of them,
and then you'd know
in it, and then you'd know. But it's just like confusing.
Or like taking it from Dax or something just to make it clearer. Because
it's just a few seconds where it could have just had that explanation. That
but it doesn't take away from the movie.
It's still a really good movie. It's just that is a weaker point.
Agreed.
On that point, I think the handheld effect of it.
It's shaky.
It is really, really good. It works really well.
I agree.
Like I was thinking specifically in the car scene where they're driving and they meet Rick and then Rick's chasing them. Him having the camera so close to like all the action, but also shaking around, and you're looking at like the floor of the car, but you know what's happening from sounds and stuff. It's really effective. And like when Costa gets bashed in the face with the camera because he has the camera really close to his face, and then Thomas stops the car and it like bangs into him. It just really works really well for like what the movie's like.
The fact that we occasionally hear Dax or when he's interviewing people about the party before the party, you know, you do hear him talk to people. And to be fair, also, I think an interesting thing is that everybody thinks Costa is a weirdo at the beginning. And no one's bothered by Dax coming up to them and asking them questions, particularly. And it kind of shows, that's why I think it's weird that they chose to make Dax out to be a possible murderer at the end. Because it's like, I thought it was supposed to be that, like, Costa's just a dick. And no one else no one else thinks Dax is a weirdo. It's just a Costa thing that Costa's like.
Nobody actually had a problem with the camera, other than the shorter guy. And he punches him in the balls.
He punches him in the balls.
But that, he was angry. That's fair. Like, no one actually has a problem with the camera.
He got shot in an oven. I thought he was going to die.
Yeah, me too.
I thought they were going to set fire to that oven.
Yeah, me too. Because I was like, they're drunk, they put him in there, so they might as well, like, if they're going to go that far, like, they
might as well. You hear that, guys? Kai thinks they might as well have set fire to the small man.
As in, like, they probably would have gone as far to have done that if they put it above the oven anyway. But...
I thought they were fucked up enough to do it, and I was scared, because that would take a dark turn.
Right? I was like,
I was worried about the dog.
This film is just
It's too silly.
Dead.
I was like, this film is too silly for that dog to die. I was concerned. I'm glad that the dog ended up being okay. Yeah. Because I genuinely was very concerned.
True.
You want to talk about
scenes or lines?
Scenes or lines?
They usually end up mixing anyway, so it doesn't really matter.
Okay.
We can start
on scenes.
Scenes, yeah, okay. Not in order, because this is the one I'm thinking of right now. But I really like the scene where Thomas is on the phone with his dad. So it's like middle of the party, and his dad calls, and he can't find the phone, so he has to answer it on the answering machine. Yeah. And he's just there talking, and then fire in the window behind him just like bursts up all the way.
And he's fine.
And
he ignores it.
He like looks at it, holds his breath, and just continues talking so calmly with his dad. Like, yeah, we're just, having a couple of drinks, we're fine, or whatever.
I could never do that.
I don't know how, because that would kill me.
I could never do that. I would scream. I'd start screaming at the top of my lungs.
Literally. I was like, Dax, tell me to find the phone. And Dax is just stood there like, no. And he's just
and then he goes, okay, fine, be quiet. And it's like, Dax never speaks. You don't have to worry about that. Yeah, he doesn't speak anyway. You don't have to tell him to be quiet.
Yeah, it is.
I liked the bit where they have it during one of the montages. Again, this is not in order, but during one of the montages, it's just like a short clip of the dog being bounced on the bouncy castle, and he's just like being absolutely thrown into the air. And
True.
It's so funny.
True.
And just all the bouncy castle scenes
were really good. They were done really well, actually.
I think that was one of the Eminem songs was playing like while people were bouncing in the trampoline. Trampoline? No.
Bouncy castle.
Bouncy castle. And I thought that was really good. Also, another just like little silly one. When they get the screen, there's like a screen on, I don't know how to explain it, like a pixel screen on one of the boards. And it goes, JB loves hard cock along the screen.
I don't remember that.
It's right at the beginning. It's right at the beginning pre-party. And it says like Thomas's party. And then it goes, JB loves hard cock.
Oh wait, actually, yeah, I think I do. I think I do remember that.
And I just think that is funny. I just think all of the homophobia in this movie, obviously don't condone homophobia. Guys, I'm gay. I swear I'm gay. But I swear we're both gay, actually.
Yeah, true.
All the homophobia in this movie is hilarious. It is true. Because it's done in such a stupid way. It's like, you don't drink, okay, you're gay. Like, you know what I mean? None of it's real homophobia.
No, it's
That's
just
why I thought maybe a character was going to end up being gay.
Yeah, real.
I thought JB maybe.
Yeah.
Because JB, I don't know why I thought that because it's 2012, but they make so many jokes about it, and I thought like
yeah,
it would
well,
be
there was two girls kissing.
There were two girls kissing. I don't think they were gay though.
No, but maybe
they could be. We can hope. We can hope they were kissing because they were gay and were attracted to one another, and not for the reasons of other reasons.
Yeah. Also down that line, a scene that I just thought was really funny is when they're in the locker room or whatever.
Oh my god!
And then JD's got a boner and he's like, guys, my underwear's just sitting funny.
And it's like, it's sticking so far out.
There's no way. I just read my notes. I was like really tried to say his underwear was sitting funny because
if he stood up in front of a wall, it would touch before anything else would touch.
Literally, that was obvious. There's no.
It was. You can't see your underwear. Your underwear can't make that happen.
Yeah, no, it's hilarious. So it was so funny.
I have. Okay, all my notes about scenes are way less organised than normal. Oh, when Rick? Yeah, when Rick is chasing them.
Wait, let me just find out what the letter is.
And they just start speeding with him on the front of the minivan.
Yes, it's hilarious. And then they leave him behind. Gone. They're driving off. They're like, oh, phew, that was intense. And then he appears again. He just pops up. And you
don't know where he's come from. It's terrifying.
How did he get there? It's actually crazy.
I like
T-Rick.
T-Rick.
I'm just gonna call him Rick.
I really like. Again, this is just another one of the like homophobias of this movie that I liked. When he says I found him in the gay V club, like meaning the JV club, and I was like, it made me laugh because I am an immature 17-year-old boy living in 2012 sometimes.
True.
You know, and I was just like, the gay V club.
It's just funny.
It's not the smartest pun in the world, but it made me laugh. Also, that all Dax gets is abuse.
Real.
All Dax gets. I wrote that in the first 2 minutes of the movie. I think. Like, I was just like, what is all this Dax abuse?
It's unnecessary. It really is.
I love the little shot of him in the mirror.
True, and he's like
shyly posing.
Yeah, because he holds it to the side.
Yeah.
So you can see the side of his body, and then he's like,
hey.
Silence, zooms in, and then carries on. It's really funny. Also, the guy who calls the cops on them, and he's like, hey man, I just want to say, can you quiet it down, the baby can't sleep,
yeah,
blah, blah, blah. And then the security kids come up behind him and taser him.
Well, okay, no, it heats up before that a little bit, him and Costa, he's like, this isn't a request.
They're arguing,
shut
he's
it down.
Oh yeah, I'll call the cops on you, blah, 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 and to stop it, they taser him. But still, the fact they pull out a taser.
It's that they pull out a taser and you're like, wow, they're fucked. And then he wakes up, punches the kid, and you're like, okay, no, they're fine.
Never mind.
They're fine.
And then when Dax is like, the guy's like, he got it on camera, and then Dax is like, no, I just got you punching the little kid's face.
No, I had that written actually. Oh my god, where is it? It's so hard because everything's all over the place on here. Yeah, I don't have it written, but I'm pretty sure what happens is he goes, well, he has it all on camera, and he goes, all I got was you punching that little child in the face. Yeah. Which, coming from Dax, is hilarious too, because he's lying, obviously. You see him get tased on the video.
Yeah.
He's just lying to the guy. But it's so funny. But then, after a certain point, you're like, he could have just called the police.
Yeah.
I know he does, but later than he had to. I know he punched the kid, but when it starts to be riots, because it starts to get rioty, but way before the police come, obviously, because when the police come...
Well, police come the first time, don't do anything.
Well, yeah.
Well, they do. I was about to talk about that scene in a minute. And then when they come again, before they come again, it's riots, yeah.
But at the end of the day, with that loud of a party and stuff, I feel like he could have risked the fact he punched a child.
Well, yeah.
But, he doesn't want his wife... When they're like, oh, he's over there, his wife's telling him to call the police, but he keeps saying he's going to sort it himself. He's drinking. This poor man's having a mental breakdown because he thinks he's going to go to prison for punching a child.
What I think's weirder is the fact that they went to so many neighbours and only he
had a problem with it.
That party was insane.
Every neighbour would have a problem with it because every neighbour's house got set on fire.
Yeah.
It's insane.
What I was going to talk about was when the cops show up the first time and... Oh, was it the first time? It must have been the first time. And then the security kids are like, everyone gotta get in the garden now, garden now, cops are coming. And so they're gathering and it's just silent in the garden. Yeah, everyone just stood there.
And it pans to all these drunk people like huddled together in silence.
Just like,
waiting for him to come back. They're like, oh.
Somehow 2 12-year-olds managed to stop that many people from talking or making a sound.
But they couldn't stop them from going in the house.
No.
They couldn't stop anyone from going in the house, but they managed to get them all in silence.
That is
like,
insane.
I can't get anyone in silence.
Literally.
Ever. I don't understand how they did that.
I don't know, it's impressive.
Okay, a line I have to mention.
Yeah.
Really near the beginning, Costa says, if I don't fuck a girl with big titties tonight, I'm drowning myself. I don't care if she's 300 pounds. Which is crazy. Because when I feel like 2010 was a big time of like... 2012?
Yeah.
Was a big time of like fat phobia.
Oh yeah.
So I think it's crazy that he's like, I don't care if she's 300 pounds. Like...
just some big titties.
As long as she's got big titties, I don't give a shit. Incredible.
I do like that line.
Drowning myself is so much like better than if he just said like killing myself. I'm gonna drown myself. Like Jesus.
Really get the seriousness of his point.
I have written here, hey, we have bogeys, but I don't know where that comes from.
I vaguely remember you talking about it, but I can't remember what the scene is or context.
Oh my god. Dax films under the kids' heads.
Oh!
Dax accidentally films, or maybe he does it, I don't remember the context, but Dax, his camera's under the 2 kid security guards' heads.
Like, yeah.
And the kid goes, hey, we have bogeys! This is like our least organised one ever, because everything's just making me laugh.
The movie is unorganised. It's
exactly.
Crazy.
Like, it's so funny to me, because he's like... He's not insecure about his bogeys. He's mad at Dax for showing. The fact I have bogeys is fine, but how dare you
show it?
That's my private bogeys.
Completely off, like, any sort of theme, but when Thomas is talking to Kirby right at the beginning, and he's like, guess what Mama Cubs and Daddy Cubs got for baby cubs? But he goes,
Mommy Cub and Daddy Cub got 4 and then goes silent and then she goes baby Cub and he goes baby Cub. If my surname was Cub, I would never say it.
No, I wrote it with a C to begin with. I don't know why, because it's a K. It's a K. Yeah. But
Mama
I do
Cub
love...
and then when Costa's like Daddy Cub and Mommy Cub and he goes, hey, that's my parents.
Not like agreeing with him that it was weird to say that. He's just like, yeah, that's my parents.
Talk bad on my parents, dude. That's not cool.
Yeah.
I really like... Oh, you know, I do have it written. All I got was you punching that little child's face.
Yeah.
I couldn't read it for some reason. My handwriting, probably. Look at this.
Yeah, that is chaos. It was dark.
I really like when they're waiting for people to arrive and JB is on the running machine. And Costa comes in, he's like, what are you doing? And JB goes, I'm getting in shape for the party. And he goes, the party's in 2 hours.
Yeah.
Like, if you exclude the bit where he, like, turns up the running machine really far, like, that's just funny. Like, yeah. What is he thinking? He's 17. He doesn't think he can become skinny in 2 hours.
That would be, like, how? That is not even possible.
It's not possible. There's not a single way in the world that's possible.
No.
But it was so funny.
It was. A scene that I really liked was when Costa's like, oh, Thomas, you need to have shots for your birthday shots. And he goes out, finds 2 girls, and then he's like, do you do birthday shots with Thomas? And he pulls out, like, a fake glass gun filled with tequila. I loved the shot glass gun.
Yeah, because I thought it was a water gun, but it's not. It's a glass, because he pours it.
Because he pours it. There's, like, a little, like, lid, I guess, because he pours it into their mouth.
And the fact that, like, he's the one who... I said gauntlet, but they said chalice. But he's the one with, like, the chalice, I guess. Big fancy glass.
Yeah.
And it's, like, not his birthday. It's Thomas's birthday. But he's walking around drinking from a giant chalice.
He, like, really switches. I thought, like, when we're like, oh, he's a dick. He's going to make this all about himself. Which he doesn't do. He tries to make
things about Thomas.
He's like, oh, Thomas, it's your birthday. Like, it's about you. But then parts of it, he's like, oh yeah, I planned this really big party, like, this is all me.
Yeah.
Which
But
it wasn't as well. It was Thomas's house.
he has on and off arseholeness. Because during the party, while it's all his fault that everything's going wrong and stuff, he does make everything about Thomas. And he gets everyone to shout Thomas's name.
Plus, when Thomas is freaking out, he is pretty good at going up to him and, like, not necessarily in a good way calming down, but, like,
he tries to calm him down. He just tries to convince him, like, don't worry about it, I'll sort it out. Yeah. Which he won't, but at least I understand that in the moment, Thomas is drunk. What he needs is someone to tell him it's going to be fine, even though it's obviously not going to be fine.
Yeah. And Costa just wants that. Like, I think that's his main goal, to just make sure Thomas has a good time.
He just wants to have the party. He wants to make sure from beginning to end, Thomas stays okay, so the party stays okay. He doesn't care what happens the next day.
Yeah.
And that's shitty, but at least, you know.
In terms of, like, this is their biggest party, and, like, there's not going to be another one like this. If there is, that's chaos and actually insane.
If there was another one like this, we're talking about, like, they're never allowed to see each other ever again in their entire lives.
Literally. Because, fuck, it's insane. But he just wants him to have a good time. It was like when the like, hot girl walks in, like, the hottest girl there. Yeah. And then he's like, you need to go, like, get her. Like, he doesn't want it for himself. He just wants Thomas to have, like, a good time. And, like,
something I really like is that we don't really see, in some of the montages you see Costa kissing people, or, like, I think in one of them he's motorboating someone, but you don't really get much of, like, a Costa cam during the party. Yeah. And then at the end it's like he has to take a bunch of paternity tests, and it's like, we didn't even see him hooking up with anyone. He never mentioned hooking up with anyone, but now he has to get a bunch of paternity tests because he got a bunch of girls pregnant. Like, where did that come from?
Yeah, definitely. It is crazy.
And I think it's kind of more fun that they didn't show us the scenes of him.
Oh yeah.
Like, getting with people.
We don't know how many.
Exactly.
It didn't say a number, did it? It just said,
I think it said 4 paternity tests.
Okay, never mind.
But that doesn't mean that's the amount of people he slept with. That's the amount of people he got pregnant.
Yeah.
I wrote, there's the scene where the DJ is on the mic and he starts doing a Thomas birthday rap, and this is the one bit I quoted. Obviously it's terrible.
I reckon you've written the same bit as me.
You've got a baby dick, the kind that's got AIDS and shit.
Mini AIDS.
And I love that also everyone in the crowd is like, boo. You'd think people in the crowd would, like, think it's funny or something, but they don't. They're like, boo, get him out of here. That's
these lot, they threw this party. This is them. Like,
get this whack DJ out of here. Also, when the dog goes up in the balloons, I got really stressed out.
Oh yeah, true.
I didn't find that funny. I was like, this dog's gonna die, and I'm not gonna laugh if this dog dies. There's a bit I keep thinking of. Oh, okay, when he's on the roof.
Yeah.
I don't know what they think he's gonna do. I thought he was gonna jump. Because I remember, or not that he was going to jump, but that was his intention. Because I was, like, saying to you, I was like, he doesn't need to kill himself just because the car's in the pool. Like, just run away.
Yeah.
But also, okay, by the end of the movie, that's, like, not by the end of the movie. One sec. Hello. We're back. It's now Monday.
Yeah,
you just said Tuesday.
I did.
It's not fucking Tuesday, bro.
It's not Tuesday. It's Monday.
All the days bleed together these days, huh?
Ugh, that spider.
I don't see. Oh.
Ugh.
He's a big boy. What?
I can't remember what points we said. I was so confident that I would remember, but
I wrote boing house instead of bouncy house. Anyways,
boing house is way better. The line where they're talking about it's Thomas, and he goes up to Costa and he's like, "Where's the gnome?" And Costa's like, "It's a gnome. It gets around."
Yeah, that's such a good line. That's such a good line.
I was like,
the fact that in the moment that's what he thought of to say.
Yeah. Also, I think by that point the gnome was already smashed up, and everyone had already had all the
Thomas
ecstasy.
is like, "What are you talking about?" And he's like, "It was full of pills. We took them."
Yeah. I do love that bit. I think actually that might be. Have we talked about Rick with T-Rick with the flamethrower properly? I don't think.
Not really.
I think
we haven't talked about
we
later on. We haven't
cut it.
Yeah.
To talk about it now.
I think we did. We should talk about that.
Yeah.
Because it's incredible. He just shows up. He's on the car.
It's already at that point a mess. Like,
they're already in the street. The police, because they scared the police away.
Stop. Like.
Because this is when the police came back after being scared away with backup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they come back and everyone's like, it's actually going insane. People are just all over the street, shouting, like, having a good time, I guess, but it is just
maybe
chaos, so, you know.
And then Rick shows up with a flamethrower.
We don't know it's Rick. It's just a guy in a suit.
A guy comes back with a flamethrower and he's lighting up the street.
Yeah.
And then my favourite bit is just when he's lit on fire.
True.
And he's, like, running around.
He's like, oh, you, like, took my gnome, or whatever he says. And he's, like, trying to hit them, and then the police come up, and then they've got, like, it's the, what's it called? They've got their big shield things and
SWAT team.
Yeah, and they're like
they've got their big shield things.
Yeah, the big shield.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yes, I know you mean the SWAT team.
Yeah, I just couldn't remember. Stop making fun of me.
Sorry.
And they're like walking up, and then how does he even do it? Like set himself on fire.
I think they are like. It's kind of unclear. Maybe someone grabs his thingy. Or maybe he, like, just backs into a bush that he already set on fire. I don't really remember.
No, he just kind of... it happens. He runs towards a house that... I don't know what he's hoping to achieve by running towards a house.
Yeah, because it's not his
Shouldn't
house.
be finding water, really.
No one's going to let him in.
Yeah.
He just set fire to all the houses and
I think he runs into a car or something.
I don't even remember.
It is chaos too fast. So many things are happening
But
all at
think
once.
about
So
it,
it's like...
Because he was, like, wearing one big suit thing. His whole body was on fire, so he couldn't, like, smack himself to get the fire off because his entire body...
Do you know what he should have done?
What?
Stop, dropped and rolled.
That's true.
He did not stop, drop and roll.
Maybe they don't teach that in America.
Maybe. That's stupid.
Maybe it's like a UK schools thing.
Stop, drop and roll.
Yeah.
That should be a dance move.
Yeah, that is stop, drop,
and roll. Oh, yeah!
Yeah, it is.
Stop. Wait, is that a...
I think it's supposed to be...
What? Who did that song?
I don't know. I think it's supposed to be like a worm. Stop, drop, and roll.
Oh, yeah.
I could be wrong. I don't know. Google who did that song right now. I need to know.
Stop. Can we listen? Stop.
I'd like them to do it in your voice. Make a remix.
Stop, drop, and roll.
A remix, and it's me doing a Yeah, but it came up. It's a remix, and it's me doing a Guru impression.
Yeah, right now.
I don't know how he'd say stop.
I actually don't know.
No, I don't know how he'd say stop.
They all have the same...
Yeah, they have the same sound. I only know how he says certain sounds. Like, would you like to go out on a date? That's my Guru impression. Girls.
Lyrics.
You can't play it out loud. We'll get copyrighted, you bellend.
What did you search?
It's called Do Dat.
Okay.
Anyway, that was irrelevant to what we're supposed to be talking about. So let's talk about the movie.
That was very relevant.
In what
way?
We
were talking about how Rick should have stopped, dropped, and rolled.
Yeah, but that song came out like probably...
When did it come out?
10 years nearly after this movie.
That's really sad. I'm gonna find out.
How was that sad? What is sad about that?
2019.
I feel like that was just a rant. Okay, well, not 10 years, but still.
Not 2012.
This gap.
Else they should have had that when he was on fire.
The gap between 2012... No, the gap between the movie... Okay, how do I explain this?
I don't know.
So that movie came out in 2012, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that song came out in 2019.
Yeah.
Danger Days came out in 2012.
Right.
And it's set in 2019.
Oh my god!
The ties!
The ties, literally.
Connecting. I'm connecting the dots.
So I keep getting videos. I keep getting videos about if you're a true My Chemical Romance fan, you can explain how these images relate. And then
but it's the thing that everybody knows now.
Everyone knows now.
I wish...
When you told me, no one knew, I don't think.
Yeah, I'm just a genius like that. I miss when it was an underground thing, that the Twilight was inspired by GRZLY.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know her name. I think it's Stephanie.
I don't know.
Stephanie, possibly, was in her room writing self-inserted GRZLY fan fiction.
Oh.
Sexual.
Oh.
And then she was like, Alright, give him some vampire name and we're good to go.
They use flash grenades. I thought that was quite
intense. They use like rubber bullets for this party.
It was.
Yeah, I remember them using like rubber bullets and thinking like this seems stupid.
I think they shot Rick with rubber bullets.
Yeah. Which shooting Rick with the rubber bullets.
But they shouldn't have used rubber bullets when there was that many like underage kids around. Like that's just dangerous.
That's the thing. It's like shooting.
Well,
Rick,
obviously, guy with fire,
fair
dangerous
enough.
too.
He's
But
a danger to society. But the teenagers who like just got a bit out of control, do they really need to be shot up with rubber bullets?
Literally.
I feel like no.
I think flash grenades were even a bit too far anyway.
I think they're probably. I don't know if that's worse or better. That's
So
probably
rubber
how
bullets?
it gets set on fire.
No, you just get set on fire before that.
Oh.
They only use the flash grenades to clear everyone out. But it was like loud and like, I don't know. I wasn't a fan.
The party was loud. I hate to break it to you.
Yeah.
The whole point is that I love the bit where he's on the roof and the news come over him.
Yeah, and he like looks up and he flips them off.
He looks up and flips them off, and it looks awesome until you notice, if you're me, that his shoes look fucking massive. They look like clown shoes. I don't know why that was my thought. I was like, wow, this is cool. Oh, big clown shoes. What the fuck? They're so ugly. But they're just like Converse, and like I never noticed that before.
Yeah.
Big clown shoes.
They were big clown shoes. But to be fair, whenever I wear actual Converse, they look like big clown shoes on me.
No, they look skinny and weird on me.
Skinny, weird, long.
Long, yeah. But on him, they looked wide.
They did look wide at the end,
so
which seemed
they were
weird.
like, they went out further than the rest of his body.
It was like in heel, and they went.
That's what I mean. They look weird as hell.
They do look like proper clown shoes, to be fair.
You used to wear exclusively Converse.
I did. Fake ones.
The thing about shoes is, unless you're getting to like trainer, collector, insane expensive territory, I feel like good shoes can be a lot cheaper than good anything else. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you want a pair of like...
To be fair, I shouldn't really spend those money on shoes because they get fucked way too quickly. Like
true.
I move around and I walk too weirdly for shoes to last a long time for me.
Mm.
But
yeah,
also
like,
really like the look of
like Timberlands, right? They're really popular.
Mm.
They're like 100 and something for like a normal pair, probably.
Mm-hmm.
If you want something like half the stuff in Urban Outfitters is over £100
Yeah.
for something that is not going to last you as long
Yeah, true.
as like a pair of Timberlands. Well, they might last you longer, but they won't last a normal walker. No offense.
Yeah. No,
do you know what I wanted so bad?
What?
That Marlboro jacket. That's what I watched with Lindsay Lohan.
I know. I was looking at it.
What's my review?
I
don't remember.
I wish Virgin Mary spoke to me when I was high.
Oh my god.
That is so real for you.
That's everything about that's me, Cody.
Literally.
And she's ginger. Me.
You. That is real.
Everything about it was me. But her name is Avery. And I would never call myself Avery. So, and they call her Ree.
Ew.
I wouldn't go with that.
Ree.
I guess I don't know what I would go with if my name was Avery. I'd prefer like Ave. I need to have a name that can have nicknames.
Ree. I don't have any nicknames. How do you nickname Kai?
I call you K. K.
K.
See, there's certain letters where if someone's name starts with a letter, you can call them it.
Yeah.
But K doesn't really work.
K doesn't work.
E. I like E. Anyone whose name starts with an E can be E.
Fair enough, yeah.
I definitely doesn't work. A.
Imagine.
A definitely doesn't work. T kind of works.
T works.
T works. S, no. M works, because it just sounds like E-M.
Yeah.
M.
That took me a really long time to put it. I was like, M, really?
I think it works.
It does.
Can I say something that is, that I always notice nowadays that I never would notice in the past?
Yeah.
Because I always did it when I was a kid, right?
Mm.
And then my dad used to tell me, like, I was saying it wrong. And now I notice it when everyone says it, and I wish I didn't. I wish I could go back to when I didn't. But, like, the letter H.
Yeah, I know, we talked about this in Cardiff.
And how would you say it?
H.
Exactly.
Yeah, everyone says it H.
But it's not.
According to your dad.
I need to fact check this real quick.
Okay.
People
People say things differently.
I never questioned
Doesn't mean
it.
one's right or wrong. Whatever.
The standard pronunciation in the UK is H.
H.
The BBC recommends this pronunciation to its broadcasters. Some say that H is becoming more common, especially among young people. Okay, it's considered a legitimate variant, but the original pronunciation was H.
Do you think I care about the original pronunciation?
It sounds
Can't
nicer.
even say pronunciation.
It sounds nicer.
Does it?
H sounds nicer.
How many times do you just say H or H?
I never say H.
How many times do you say H in your life?
Quite often.
Really?
HMV. HMV sounds ugly. HMV sounds a lot better.
Mm.
Be honest with yourself.
I don't think so.
That's because you're used to saying H.
Maybe, but I don't think so.
And also, the rapper,
Yeah.
H,
There's a rapper called H.
spells it AITCH. That's how you spell it. If you say H, you've just added the letter in front of the
As is
pronunciation.
all letters in the alphabet. Alphabet.
Trying to think of one where you don't.
A.
C.
Okay, fine.
C.
Not all of them, but a
C
lot of them.
doesn't have any C in it.
Fine. But a lot of them do that. So it's not wild to think
No.
that H would do that.
I'm saying it annoys me that I think about it. Imagine if it was called Project H.
H.
Yeah, I did it on purpose.
Oh. What? I don't think I was thinking this. I was like, when I was making this story earlier, I was like, why is it called Project X?
Sounds cool.
Sounds cool,
It has
but
to be Project something. It should have been Project Thomas.
why does it have to be Project?
Project Thomas.
Project Thomas gets bitches.
Project Thomas Party. Project Thomas gets some snatch. Oh no, I almost said something really awful.
Oh no, I need to know.
I didn't think about the connotations of it in my brain.
Go on.
Project Snatch Grabbers. Okay, no, maybe not.
No. Project X does just fine.
Project X worked.
Oh god. Should we go on to Letterboxd? Because I don't think we have anything else to talk about.
Yeah, you know what? This might just be a shorter episode.
That's fine.
That's okay. You know what? We didn't have so much to say about this movie, but we really...
Shockingly. Well, no, because what we said this on Friday, but this movie is really good and we both really enjoyed it, but it is a lot of just the same thing.
Yeah.
There's
it
not a
absolutely
lot.
is.
Like, it was amazing. I've really, really enjoyed it, but there
But
isn't-
lines-wise, all the lines they say have a similar tone to them.
Yeah. What the fuck?
It went on me, not on you. Look, it's right there.
It hit me. Did you not see it bounce off me and then land on you? You went.
Well, I have to get it off. Anyway.
Jesus Christ.
What is going
To be
on?
fair, when I was listening to Days of Confused, I was like, we yell. Well, no. Let me rephrase that. I yell a lot. I'm loud.
Everyone calls me loud, but you, when we record this, I feel like you're definitely louder than me.
Yeah.
I talk more, but you're a lot louder than me.
I'm so loud.
But you know what? That's okay.
Thank you.
Snatch! I never thought before about the fact that Snatch is, and it's called Snatch. Anyway. Oh yeah, I watched Mrs. Doubtfire the other day.
Yeah,
for
I saw
the
that.
First time ever.
I've never watched it.
See,
I think
everyone
so.
was acting like it was weird I hadn't watched it.
Yeah, but there's loads of things I haven't watched that is weird that I haven't watched.
Yeah, I guess I've watched quite a lot of things.
Yeah.
How many things have you watched since we watched Project X?
2.
3! I beat you.
How many things have you watched in November?
1, 2, 3, 4.
I forgot now.
Wait. You made me lose count. 20. You beat me.
22.
Oh.
22.
I was going to say, which ones did you beat me with? That doesn't make any sense, because not that many of them were the same.
No. Okay.
Yeah, but you haven't watched Hot Frosty, though.
I haven't, no.
You should.
I was like, oh, you know, we should watch this movie together, Mother. Like, it'll be really
Yeah.
fun. It's about a snowman comes to life, and she's like, oh yeah, I've seen it. I'm like,
Did you like it?
she was like, it's shit, and I'm like, yeah, don't you think it'll be funny to watch it? And she's like, it's not the sort of thing you watch twice. I'm like, okay,
I'd watch it twice. It was funny.
I'll just watch it on my own then.
That is depressing as hell.
I was like, I just thought it'd be fun. I literally worded it in such a way that was like, oh, it'd be nice if we spent some time together and watch this fun movie. No, she doesn't want to watch it twice.
She doesn't want to spend time with you.
Literally.
And I think you should blame that on yourself. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Okay, anyway.
Okay,
yes.
Get your review up!
How many stars did you give it, Kai?
I gave it 5 and a heart. I love this movie.
I gave it 4 and no heart.
Oh,
sorry. You tell me yours first. Yours is funnier than mine,
I says.
Real. I says. Stop. Tell me your review.
Thomas's ability to stay completely calm while on the phone with his dad while there's a fire outside is unbelievably impressive.
I mean, that's just facts. So.
Right?
I couldn't do it. I just...
What?
I made a little tower. I didn't even notice. Anyway, okay, sorry.
What's yours?
I would just run away or kill myself at that point. I know I said that Thomas shouldn't, but
that is real.
The car's in the pool.
Yeah.
There's nothing left for me here.
That is bad.
The second the neighbour's house is on fire, there's nothing left for me.
What? I asked my mum when I got home after I was watching it, and I was like, how would you react? And she was like, I don't even know. I'd have a breakdown. I'd probably kill myself. I
love that my mum was just like, I don't know, it would be fun. My mum was like, it would be fine. And your mum's like, I'd kill myself.
She probably would.
You would?
Yeah, I would.
You would before she found out.
Yeah,
or at least run away.
Oh, yeah.
That's the thing, I think I'd
come
just
to your
run
house,
away.
knock on the door, be like, Ted, please, I need you to help.
I'd be in too much of a, like...
Oh, wait, sorry. You'd be there, so...
Oh, yeah, true. Because I wouldn't be Costa.
Oh, no, I hope not.
I'd be JB.
If you were Costa, ditching you.
I'd be JB.
Yeah, that's fine. JB's chill.
But I think in that situation, I wouldn't even have the brain to be like, I'll just kill myself. I'd be like, I gotta get out of here.
Yeah, true.
I'd just run. I don't know where to, but I think my brain is the kind of... I have the flight.
Yeah. I think I have the freeze.
Yeah, I don't have the freeze. I have the flight installed in me. Like...
Do I have the freeze? I reckon I have the freeze.
You don't run away.
No.
When you're scared. I don't know where to.
Somewhere. I mean, if you were running, maybe I'd run.
We could go to Amsterdam.
Yeah.
Get high enough to forget.
Forever.
Forever.
Yeah.
But this would never happen to me.
No.
I could never get that many people in one place. And if I did, I'd be afraid.
I'd be very afraid. I'd be like, I don't know how he kept his chill.
If like 4 people... Because he likes the party. But if 4 people showed up at my house that I didn't know...
I'm like, no,
Get out
I'm done.
of here.
Done now.
Get out.
Yeah,
Get
bro.
out. If the cars started pulling up, start macing them. Get away from my house.
Do you want to make a tower?
Yes. Wait, now it's the Twin Towers. I'm proud to be American.
Do you know what I've been listening to a lot recently?
Where at least I
Teaser.
know I'm free. I love Teaser.
I love Teaser.
What's relevant about that?
It's not. I actually don't think we've talked about the movie for 20 minutes.
Well, we ran out of things to say.
Yeah. I like this movie.
We can use our audience of probably around 2 people for a good cause. Go stream Teaser Touchdown. Did you see my Mrs. Doubtfire review? Oh no, because you haven't watched it! So you wouldn't get it. But just after we watched Project X, I watched War Dogs, which also had Miles Teller in it.
You told me.
Yeah.
On Friday.
He was kind of good at it.
Because
He was kind of a mid-movie.
Somewhere in the first half of this, we talked about if...
Miles Teller was a good person.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, my mum liked it, and I thought it was kind of mid. It feels like a rip-off of like what's the guy who made Wolf of Wall Street?
Oh.
Because it feels like the guy's trying to do that, basically. I don't know, wait, let me check who it's directed by. Who is it directed by? Todd Phillips. Oh, it's directed by the guy who did The Hangover and The Joker.
Martin Scorsese.
Yeah, it feels like the guy's like pretending to be Martin Scorsese, basically. Like, but doesn't do it very well. But it's fun, you know. Jonah Hill looks kind of like Trump. That's fun.
That is fun.
Yeah. I wonder if Jonah Hill's a good person.
I don't know. Should I find out?
Yeah, why not? You know, we're wasting time. We gotta rack this up to 1 hour 30. Okay, we gotta find out if Jonah Hill's a good person.
I think that is literally what we're doing. We could have stopped this at any point. We're just
this
like,
is what people want to see.
It's just
It's
us going, oh, we really don't want it to be an hour, so let's just talk for another
Well, you can cut this
20
out
minutes.
if need be.
The actor has been accused of being emotionally abusive by his ex-girlfriend who labelled him a misogynistic narcissist.
Okay. That kind of sounds worse than Miles Teller. What a shame. He always plays an arsehole.
People aren't living by their standards anymore. People just don't care.
No. They're like, you know what? I'll play someone who's exactly like me in a movie that's making fun of the person that's exactly like me.
Because I don't care.
Shame.
Yeah.
Who cares? And you know what? Maybe that's the attitude I ought to have towards life.
I wonder if they were like, oh yeah, it's true or not.
Who? Himself?
Everyone.
You wonder if he himself was like, so true. Hashtag,
Oh yeah,
hashtag
I am
misogyny.
emotionally abusive.
Hashtag narcissism. You know what I found out?
Huh? What did you find out?
The Jack White's ex-wife. Actually, don't worry about it.
I wanted to know.
I don't remember the word.
What word?
It's like when you're like, no, you can't come near me. A restraining order. She has a restraining order against him.
No, you can't come near me.
Back away! Back away! If I had a restraining order against someone, I'd carry it around. Like, I'd only get it for a meter.
That's the only thing, though. Seemingly.
About him.
Yeah.
You say the only thing, like, being misogynistic isn't a big thing. Anyway, if I had a restraining order
Yeah.
against someone,
Yeah.
for the drama, I'd only get it for a meter. But I'd carry around a meter stick. And I could be like, get away!
Oh, I need to see this now. Do you have a meter stick up here?
There's one downstairs.
Where?
I don't know. Find it.
I'm gonna go find it. I'll
And
be
I'd
right back.
carry it around.
We could add. I'll add some
I'd
music.
carry it around. Oh, yeah. Diddly-dee-dee-dee-dee.
Meter distance.
Oh my god,
please.
you terrified me. Oh, yeah, no, okay, wait. Wait, let me turn it around so that hopefully it can pick us up if we're, like, not right next to it. This is the plan.
Okay, wait. Guys, I'm gonna take a photo of us doing this. I'm gonna put it on the story so when we release this, you guys will know.
Wait, let me... Look sad. Well, supposed to laugh. Yeah, that's my favourite. Okay, so, basically, I have a restraining... Look how much silence!
Oh no!
It'll be fine. I have a restraining order against him, and I'm walking around.
Yeah.
And if you come near me, I just pull this out, and we walk side by side. I'm like, hey, you want to go get lunch? And you're like, yeah, okay. But you have to walk that far
But I
apart.
have to be this far away.
And we have to stand in the shop like this. And then we have to sit on the table, and you have to sit on the chairs behind.
Oh yeah, because opposite on the table would be too close.
Yeah. Look, see? That's bigger than a table.
Yeah, true.
But second row of table, chairs.
Yeah, true.
Oh, I could... Don't hit me with it. Well, okay.
Yeah.
Also, I could glamour it. And make it pink.
Yes.
And smack.
Bejeweled.
But write 1 meter in huge letters across it.
Yeah.
That's actually, you know what?
No one
that
needs
is so
actual
funny.
measurements. Everyone just needs to know it's a meter.
You have like a messy divorce. And you're like, I demand a restraining order.
It's like a messy divorce. A messy divorce, but they still want to fuck. So it's like
yeah, but you can't fuck a meter away.
No, but out in public, they bring out the meter stick. But in the bedroom,
What good does that do you?
no meter stick needed.
Messy divorce, but really they just want a divorce for like the drama.
Yes, they're YouTube. They're like family YouTubers.
And they're like, I'm getting a restraining order. And then they walk around with a meter stick. They're like, he can't come close to me.
We needed both of us because some of you really like, but some of you like me, some of you like my ex-husband.
You know what? You could if it was wait. So say his is like that long.
Yeah.
Let's get out of the centimeters.
Other way.
Okay. See, why would I do it by centimeters? I feel like I should be doing it by inches. Okay. Say his is 5 inches. Okay. Say his is 5 inches.
Mm-hmm.
She gets a strap on. That's. Okay, wait, no. Because it doesn't start. We have to do centimeters.
Okay, where's 5 inches?
Say
5 inches is 13 centimeters.
Say his is 13 centimeters. That doesn't seem right. Then she has to get... Maybe that's not inches. Anyway, say his is 13... I can't...
Say his is 13 centimeters. She needs to get a strap on that is 87
centimeters. Yeah. And then they can touch tips.
I'm telling you, the film stops at 10 minutes past an hour.
Well, this could happen in the film. They can... Yeah. They can...
Get me along.
Kirby could get a restraining order for the drama after she finds out that he sleeps with, or nearly sleeps with, the girl.
Yeah.
Herbie gets a restraining order, but she only did it for the drama.
Yeah.
I like this as a prop. And so, for the record, I mean the meter ruler. So then, that's what they have to do. That's what they have to do, is the plan that we just described.
Yeah.
That's why it was relevant. This movie had a lot of boobs and bums. You know? That's
I didn't see that many bums.
The pool.
I saw some boobs.
They had pants on, sure. But there were so many. He filmed
There's
under the
so
pool.
many more boobs. For every bum, there's 2 boobs.
No, in the pool scene there were at least like 30.
Bums?
Yes.
Yeah.
The word bums is just like upsetting.
You started that.
I said, and I immediately was like, oh, why'd you say bums?
What we start with it now?
I said literally anything else. There's so many words that I could have used that are better than bum.
To every bum, there's 2 boobs.
To every bum, there's 2 bongers. That's the vibe I get from bum. If someone ever, I feel like it's such a. Have you seen like in like I feel like in shows and there's like a British girl dating a British guy and he's like, you've got a fit bum. And you just think, ugh. And someone's, how do you know what that reminded me of?
It's like British guys in like America. Is that what you said?
In American shows,
American
you're right,
shows.
you're right. But do you know what that reminded me of? That meme that's like, you're the prettiest girl I've seen in 3 months. And I thought about it and I was like, you know what, if I was the prettiest person someone had seen in 3 months, low-key that is a compliment, like, but you wouldn't think it was in the moment,
No.
would you? You'd be like,
wow.
Like, so 3 months ago you saw someone prettier than me, that's great.
That's perfect.
But then when you think about it really, you know, but it's like someone being like, world's second best dad. If you were the world's second best dad, you're a really good dad.
Yeah, there's a lot of dads in the world.
Because there's a lot of dads in the world. But still, it's not nice
You're
to
the
hear
second
from your
best
child.
dad.
Thank you so much. Who's my child?
I don't know.
I thought you were going to come up with something funny though.
I was gonna try, but my brain is fried.
Okay, we should probably stop this. We've just been on a tangent of saying things that I don't know if we can get banned from Spotify podcast, but I think we should cut out some of the sperm stuff. So,
Bye.
thank you for listening.
Hope you
to
enjoy.
this week's
This one's
GRZLY
really been a mess.
about Project X. Sorry it was such a mess, but you know what? We had a really long break between the first half and second half of this.
Yeah.
So, like, what were we supposed to do?
We tried.
How are we supposed to know what we had to talk about, you know? We tried our best.
If we'd done it all in one shot, we probably got to this amount of time with just a film.
Yeah.
But it's fine.
Anyway, next time, we're going to watch a Christmas movie, I think.
Yes.
Depending what order these come out in. Oh yeah, we're going to watch The Grinch!
Which one? And the odd one and the new one. Not one and
It's
two.
not 1 and 2.
Yeah.
And then the second one, he dyes his hair blue! Like the Blue Grinch meme.
Yeah, people keep saying it to me, right? People keep explaining it to me. Like saying it to me.
Oh. Yeah.
And then me, I'm going like, what? And then they explain it, I'm like, oh shit, I have seen that.
And that's so funny. I saw Austin Knight posted about it. And then, I can't remember, I already saw it.
Don't break that.
But anyway. Oh, you know what? We have to stop this because I have to show him that I like my suitcase video.
Okay.
So thank you for watching, listening.
I waved at the laptop.
He did wave. He's
I'm waving again.
Because he loves our fans.
Yeah.
The total, probably 1 of them we have.
I reckon we'd have a 1 for each one.
There's like a 0.5 fan for each person that follows us. That's how much they care.
Yeah.
And then they make up...
Not each person.
Okay.
Some people
Some
who
of the
follow us
people
would be a lot less.
And they make up 1 normal sized fan.
Yay.
And we love our 1 normal sized fan. And if you think that you yourself are a whole fan to yourself, then thank you. And we love you even more.
Yeah, real. Because you make up 1 instead of 2 people making up 1.
No, not 2.
Yeah.
I said 0.5.
That's 2. 2 well, no. 0.5.
I meant a smaller percentage of point than that. Okay, my bad. I can't do math.
Oh, I would do the math right now, but I really can't be asked.
Good, but no, you're right. What 0.5 plus?
No, but I was going to find out the actual percentage of.
Yeah. Okay.
Fraction.
No, that's not worth it. So goodbye, and thank you from GRZLY. Ew.